Good morning. It's Ruth Penner here from the central British Columbia, and we welcome you to today's programming for Heating Up the Baja 2020. And we have some special guests with us this morning. Down in the lower left-hand side of your screen is Daryl and Maureen Graham.
Hi from Uruapan.
Good morning and blessings from the Baja.
And just above them, we have Inez and Oscar. And below me is Ted and Alisha from Linden, Washington.
Hello.
Hello.
So we have a few questions this morning for you, and we're focusing today on our child sponsorship at Mount of Olives Children's Village and Missions Network International. The first question is for Ted and Alisha. When did you decide to become sponsors?
Well, back in 2011, I think was one of our first trips down there. And then we just felt like God really placing the Mount of Olives on our heart. And we began to pray, and there were opportunities to help and share the gospel with children. And then the Lord allowed us to serve and to sponsor a child from the Mount of Olives, and Inez was that child.
That's incredible. Thank you. Daryl, when somebody's thinking about sponsoring a child, what are they committing to?
Well, child sponsorship starts at $30 a month, and they're committing to that amount of money per month. Some people pay monthly, some people pay quarterly, twice a year, or yearly. But then with their commitment, we know that we'll be having those funds come in to take care of the needs. So it's a commitment that eases the workload and the pressure here. So the sponsorships are pretty important to us.
That's excellent. Maureen, I have a question for you too. When did the sponsorship program start?
Well, back before we even had our first house completed, we had children in the old lodge that we rented here in Uruapan. And so we started thinking about the sponsorship program then. And then by the time our first children went into house one, we had sponsors already enlisted.
Excellent.
It's 2007. Yeah.
So Daryl talked about the funds of $30 a month that people commit to when they sponsor a child. What are those funds used towards? What does it pay for? Maureen.
It pays for only the needs of the children: food, clothing, staff, just whatever the kids need. And so that's what it goes for, only those basic things.
So does it cover like their medical and their school supplies and things like that as well?
School uniforms, all that. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, Inez, let's move up to you. That beautiful smile that you have there, it's just brightening my day. Go ahead, Oscar.
Ok, Inés, ¿hace cuánto llegaste a la casa hogar Monte de los Olivos?
Hace 13 años.
13 years ago.
Okay, and how old were you when you came?
¿Cuántos años tenías?
2.
2 years.
2 years old. So this has been your home for a very long time. And what grade are you in school, Inez?
¿Qué grado estás en la escuela? 11th grade.
11th grade. So only one more year to be finished the public school. That's fantastic. All right. For Ted and Alisha, I've heard it said that sponsoring a child can change 2 lives. Do you agree with that statement? And how has being one of Inez's sponsors impacted your own personal life?
Well, I think one of the things that we have been made more aware of
is how we can pray for somebody like Inez. And so we added her to our prayers every week. Maybe a few times a week, we would remember Inez and the orphanage. And you look outside of yourself and your community, and you begin to think of others in a different way. And through prayer, we were able to support Inez to the Heavenly Father, who knows exactly what Inez needs, even before we know. And so that has been a huge part of our lives, is praying for Inez, the Mount of Olives.
Excellent. All right, another question for Inez. When you hear the word sponsor, what does that mean to you?
Inés, cuando escuchas la palabra patrocinador, ¿qué significa para ti?
Personas que están dispuestas a apoyar.
People help other people in different areas, and kids or more people.
Excellent. All right, for Ted and Alisha again. Besides sending monthly financial support and you said prayer, what else would you recommend doing to build that relationship with your sponsored child?
I'll have to say Inez and I have a very fun relationship. We continue to stay in touch through Messenger on Facebook. I don't speak Spanish fluently, correct, Inez? My Spanish is no bueno, but I try. But what's cool is I use Google Translator, and we actually carry on very good conversations with each other. And Inez has been a special friend to our family, and she's just been a real joy.
All right, Inez, one more question for you. What are your plans or dreams for your future? After you graduate from grade 12, the 12th grade next year, what are you thinking about doing?
¿Cuáles son tus sueños o planes para el futuro? Hairstylist.
Oh, very nice. All right. So if somebody, Ted and Alisha, if somebody was looking at becoming a sponsor, what would you say to them?
First of all, pray, because the Lord has to lead you first. If you do an effort on your own, you will fail. And we know that with God, this makes it all possible. As a commitment to Inez, you have to make a commitment for a lifetime. Inez is part of our family. And I look at her as a daughter that lives in Mexico in a lot of ways. And she's very, very special to us.
Excellent.
One of the highlights we had was attending her quinceañera. And that was really a special time when we could invest in her life, see her in a beautiful dress, celebrating her 15th day.
Yeah, that was so special.
Excellent. All right, Maureen, I have a question for you now. Do we need more sponsors?
Oh, absolutely. $30 a month doesn't go very far. But the nice thing about $30 a month is that almost everybody gets to participate in the lives of one of these children. And so we pool the money together, and as expenses rise with the children as they get older, there's more expenses with schooling. Yeah, we always need sponsors. We just recently got 7 new children. So there we start the sponsorship program all over again. So yes, desperately need sponsors.
Well, $30 a month is so reasonable. That's less than $1 a day. It's incredible what God does with what little we have, and we give it to him, and he just grows it so much. I guess either Daryl or Maureen could answer this. What happens once one of the kids or students graduates from high school? when does their sponsorship stop?
Well, it just depends on the sponsor. We've have sponsors that are sponsoring some of our kids through university. Others choose to stop their sponsorship for that child, but may switch their sponsorship to another child. So it's all up to the sponsor and how what they want to do for the future.
Well, that's so incredible that the sponsor gets to have a little bit of a choice in that, and to see a child through university till they're self-sustaining and able to look after themselves completely. That is just so cool to have that ability to have an impact for that long. You're to be commended that you allow that type of thing to happen. It basically is creating a lifelong friendship, I think.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Oh, my next question was, could we sponsor another child if my child leaves the program or graduates and gets a job and moves off on their own? But you already answered that there's always children looking for sponsors. So, all right, I just was going to ask if anybody else has any comments they want to add about sponsorship or anything. No?
Well, this is a pretty special and actually an emotional time for Maureen and I, because here sits our little 2-year-old granddaughter, Inez, and little toddler came into our lives, and now a beautiful young lady inside and out. What a special time. And to see our support from Alisha and Ted up there, and to have you there and have Oscar jumping in and helping out. It just shows you what God can do. And we just want to stay focused on keeping him as our best friend.
Well, thank you, each one of you, for taking the time to talk with us today. And we just really appreciate the little bit of insight into what sponsorship is all about. So thank you and have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Hi.